The following program is brought to you by Jack Miller.
It's Down to Business with Jack Miller. Forget what they teach you in school. This is real life, not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation.
Hello, this is Jack Miller. Thank you for sticking with us and joining us. Todd, let's start with some questions. Let's talk real estate, finance, workout. I have literally tons of questions which people have asked, and let me throw them out there in no particular order.
Yeah, you're going to ask the ones that look like they're written by pretty girls first, aren't you?
Of course. Well, of course. Is one of them, how do you get pretty girls? You got to make a lot of money. You think that's true?
It depends, I think. I think that depends.
What do you think about when you ever see these?
I think when you're younger, it doesn't matter as much.
It's love. When you get older, you see these 80-year-old guys driving
right.
their Bentleys in Miami with 22-year-old girls. You think it's pure love?
Generally, no. I do not.
They love the Bentleys. They love the Bentleys.
Right.
You know, and that's commonplace down here.
I mean, I see stuff down here every day that boggles my mind, no doubt.
Do me a favor, take pictures of it. I always want to do that when you see these hot girls.
Right. So you're telling me there's a chance, Todd? Is that what the caption of the text I send you should be?
Yeah. You know what else I always thought? I don't know why. For those of you who don't know Miami, there's a lot of topless women on the beach for whatever reason, and I always thought it would be great to take pictures of them and like post them online. Like there should be a website. There probably is.
Well, you know how like natural breasts tend to sort of like sag to the sides when women lie on their backs?
Yes.
In Miami, generally speaking, they're still very perky when women lie on their backs. I will say that.
I don't think any of them have natural breasts.
Very
little.
I know some of them do, but
very little.
I agree with you.
I know where we live. We're up north in Boca a little bit. Okay, my wife, I don't want to talk too much about my wife's breast on the air, but she's like one of the only women in our social circle and in the community have real ones.
All right, there you go. Well, look, I mean, we started talking about real estate this segment, and look where we went to. I mean, immediately.
Let me ask you just another stupid question. So, like 2 years ago, we're out with a couple friends, and the lady just got new implants. It's probably her third set. So what does she say? She says, "Oh, you want to feel them?" Like her husband's there.
That was actually a scene in the movie Summer Rental with John Candy.
Was it? It was
when
great.
I was growing up, which is a great movie. Rest in peace, John Candy, one of the funniest people ever. And his neighbor obviously was this beautiful blonde wife of the next door neighbor, and she would come over and tell her, I just got these implants. What do you think?
Yeah,
He's like, what do you mean, what do I think? She's like, feel them and tell me what you think. He's like, no.
That's pretty much what happened. We were actually in Rocco's Tacos, like waiting to get seated. It was packed. It was like a Saturday night.
Wow.
And she goes, "Oh, look, you want to feel?" And I think I said to her husband, "How do they feel? I never felt non-real ones." You know what I mean? She goes, "Oh, you want to feel?" And the husband he looks at me, goes, "It's okay. I did not.
It's
okay. Just for the record.
As long as you get the nod from the husband, then it's all good,
right?
I
was very embarrassed. On air, I talk about this kind of stuff, but really in my personal life, I'm very shy and very embarrassed.
There you go.
But if you have anyone who would let me feel, no. Anyway. So, okay, let's talk some real estate and stuff. So one of the questions I got was, I'm buying an investment property. Do I need to sign personally on the loan? So, what do you want to answer? Or
I'll give my own thoughts to that.
Okay, let's both take a stab.
And we've had some amazing attorneys, by the way. We can name a few of them, but Dan Keskel did a great job with this, as did Brett Wallace. Or was it Steve Wallace?
Steve Wallace.
I'm sorry.
Brett Elam.
Brett Elam was on our show. These are the people that you really should talk to about these things, and they'll help protect you. But signing personally is never something I would advise someone to do in any case buying real estate. I think, spend a little bit of money and create an entity, a shell corporation with yourself, basically a PA, an LLC, to sort of protect yourself and remove yourself once and buy the real estate in that entity and sign as, a principal of that entity.
I agree with that, but my experience is most banks on smaller pieces of property, if it's a credit tenant deal or a larger property, maybe will go with non-recourse, but I think on most smaller deals, banks want full recourse. So you could still buy in an LLC or an LP to protect yourself, as you should for each separate property. And I would say don't make the mistake of putting more than one property in an LLC or LP with any size, if it's a single family. But most of the deals, most of the small investors, I think have to sign personally.
Recourse is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to do it, you have to do it, but I would fight tooth and nail to try and get non-recourse financing if you can.
I agree. The problem is most banks won't do it on smaller deals.
Right.
So my answer is most of the time you do, but be careful because people think they sign. It's no problem, but it is.
And hire a good attorney when you're buying real estate. It is worth the investment.
So
Trust me.
I agree. One of the other questions was, when do I go to an attorney? After or before the agreement of sale is signed? And I would say before you sign anything, you go to an attorney. Don't sign, because after you sign, it's I don't want to say it's too late. You can't get the toothpaste back in the tube.
That's right. Make offers on non-binding LOIs. If you need to move quickly and you want to get at something in front of someone, make sure it says non-binding at the front and the back of the sheet, or you write it in yourself and sign it. This is non-binding. It's a letter of intent. These are the terms I'm willing to buy at. And then once you have acceptance between you and your seller, at that point, then, bring it to an attorney and have them help you with
I agree.
With the contract.
Most people cheap out. They're scared to spend the money on an attorney. You need to get the best attorney you can, and they'll protect you.
That's
so
right.
that would be my advice. Okay, so we're pretty much in agreement. Okay, another question. I'm just rolling down them. Do you like blondes or brunettes better? No, I'm teasing you. That's not a
redheads.
Redheads. Okay, that's
does your wife change her hair color ever?
Or? She did one time. The truth is, she is brunette's dark hair, right? She has like brown hair. Many years ago, like 15 years ago, I came home and she was a blonde one time. She thought it would be sexy and exciting.
She wanted to find out if blondes really do have more fun.
And I felt bad because the first thing I said to her was, "Oh, how long does this stay in for?" The truth is, I hated it. I'm just used to her as, you like your certain style.
See, that's funny. My wife, for most of the time I've known her has been a blonde, but she did go redhead at some point in our dating history.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I have to admit, yes.
Okay, well that's
so maybe I am a ginger man. Who knows?
Nothing wrong with it. I just kind of, you like your style. In fact, last night we were we were looking online, whatever. A couple that is out there the guy had an affair. So of course we have to look at what the girl who he had the affair with, and it looked just like the wife. So I said it makes sense because that's kind of the style.
Right.
People like different styles. Nothing wrong with it. No, that's not really a question. I just made that up because I'm an idiot. But no, here's a real serious one. Is it better to hold real estate long-term or short-term? That's a good one. That's a big one.
Well, I think everything comes down to you need to have a plan. When you make an investment of any kind, you need to think about your goals. You need to write them down, and you need to discuss them with an advisor. That advisor could be your best friend. It could be your wife, but it really should be someone.
It could be a commercial realtor.
It should be someone like me, right?
Yes,
if you're thinking about real estate, it should be an advisor like myself at a reputable real estate firm. Todd Cohen, Marcus and Millichap. My phone number is 786-522-7021. But also there's financial planners and advisors that you could speak to when you're talking about your portfolio in the stock market, mutual funds. And there are other types of advisors and life coaches you could speak to too. But you really need to have a plan. You need to understand what you are looking to make this investment for. Is it part of a greater diversification strategy, portfolio? What are you going to use the money for? How liquid do you need the money to be? And by liquid, I mean how accessible do you need it? Because real estate is not a liquid asset. You need someone like Jack to come in and buy it from you if something happens and you need quick liquidity. That's what he does. No,
that's correct.
There's
Thank you
your
for
plug.
the plug. I appreciate it.
But
okay, I have breaking news. I'm going to go back to this because this is a very important question. But my wife just sent me a text that she felt those breasts.
Oh, wow.
I kind of remember that now. So,
and what did she think?
I don't know. Judy, what did you think? Send me a text. But maybe, can I say now that I was involved in a ménage à trois or a threesome experience?
You can say whatever you want. Is this true?
Not really, and it was like I say in Rocco's Tacos at the Town Center Mall in Boca.
Oh, because your wife felt another girl's breast,
and I was there,
so you were involved in a ménage à trois. I see how that works.
I don't know. I just want to say that. You know what I mean? It
sounds good. I love it.
I know. Hopefully she'll text me in a minute or so. But no, with buying real estate, I think you're right. People have to decide whether they want short-term or long-term. The problem with holding long-term is you really don't make much money on real estate until you sell it. It's very hard to make a decent cash flow, I've found, through the monthly distributions because it's so capital.
We also need to define what short-term is, and there's tax implications, too.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's shorter than 12 months,
but
you could be paying income tax, which is a much higher tax bracket for most people in our country than long-term capital gains.
But I know, at least for me, I have found very few people who have great cash flow from real estate that they're buying. It's usually the cash flow, the big cash flow comes when there's a capital event, a refinance, or a sale or something like that. So you really have to do a balance of sometimes short-term to get the cash flow because the long-term, there's really not that much cash flow involved with it.
Right.
So that's just my experience. And I personally am a long-term guy. I like to hold, pay it off, and forget about it.
Put your money to work for you.
Yeah. By the way, I just got a text from my wife. They felt great.
They felt great.
Yes, honey, I'm getting very excited.
Does she know who the maestro was who put those things in? I mean,
the doctor.
Did you get the number and the name and
we could find out
the referral?
We could find.
Maybe
out.
We'll have them on here one day.
Yes, I'll tell you. I could tell you.
That's
another,
a great business.
I could tell. Oh, the doctor. I thought you meant the girl who got him done. Yeah, the girl who got him done is a real character. I don't know who the doctor is, but we can find out. I'm sure one is the same. So anyway, we have to take a break, I believe, for traffic. When we get back, let's talk more business, and let's ask the very serious question, are people taking us seriously because we're goofing around at this? I don't know. That's a good question. But anyway, let's take a break.